and we have quite a lot of things to cover, so we will try to be as short and speedy as possible. I am a little bit worried even if we'll make it on time. So because of this, if you have a question during the meeting, please send it as a message, and we will do our best to answer all questions in the end of the meeting. With that being said, if there is something you need to get right away, please raise your hand or simply jump straight to the microphone. For your information, this meeting being recorded and will be shared to you later on. The motive behind this is that so you are able to, in the upcoming season and the future, go back to this video and basically use it as a tool. And I am especially having the last subject in mind, which is troubleshooting hints with Martin. Okay, let's get started. Technical news. I have 3 things I would like to share to you today. First up, spreading symmetry adjustment motor. We had quite serious problems with the previous module, the black one, over the years. The most common problem has been the cylinder getting stuck, most often in extended position. The new module came into production May last year, so has already been in the production for a while. But I still felt the need to raise this topic, especially as a specific setting in the controller needs to be selected if you're having the new motor. Where to find this setting will be demonstrated by Martin later on in this meeting. Is it possible to replace the black one with the new one, you may ask? The answer is yes. It is possible to retrofit. Retrofit brackets is depending on spreader type and what generation chute you have. I would like to point out, though, that this is not considered as a service bulletin, so we will not hand over any motors for free. With that being said, retrofit brackets will be provided for free if needed. Next up, improved conveyor cleaning system on CM spreaders. As you guys know, all conveyor spreaders on the market have tendencies to leak underneath, causing material to gather on the vehicle bed over time. Beside the nasty job to clean it up, the material can even directly interrupt the conveyor, causing it to a halt. Even with the advanced cleaning system that we have had since day one, we have not been free of this issue neither. But in Hilltip fashion, we saw improvement possibilities and went for it. This is what we came up with. An additional cleaning brush were added, which is brush B in the picture. Brush A has always been there. Beside the additional brush, we also made the upper chute reach further underneath the conveyor in order to get the edge of the upper chute, which is C in the picture, in front of the first brush to make sure that as much leftovers as possible drop straight into the chute and down to the spinner. Important information regarding this. In order for us to get B and C in these positions, we needed more space, which forced us to move the conveyor axle backwards, a distance of 2 chain links. So this upgrade is possible to retrofit, but it's not done a Friday afternoon 4 o'clock, as the entire rear piece of the conveyor tunnel needs to be replaced. I would like to point out that neither this is considered as a service bulletin, so any retrofit procedures should be communicated with us after sales in order to verify parts and sales in order to verify cost sharing. Moving on. Independent StrikeSmart Plus panel. Since we launched the StrikeSmart Plus panel, we have received requests if it is possible to use the panel independently, meaning without smartphone or tablet connected. And the answer has been no, but that is not longer the case. With our latest software installed in the panel, which I added a picture of how to do, you will be able to operate the spreader from the panel alone, with smartphone or tablet connected. I would like to point out, though, that the primary reason behind this feature is not necessary to get rid of the smartphone or tablet, but more like an emergency feature. If something happens to the smartphone or tablet during operation, the driver will be able to finalize the job. That was the three things I wanted to highlight in this specific meeting when it comes to technical news. Next up, software news. So I will hand over the microphone to Martin. Martin, please.
Thank you, Mattias. Yeah, so starting with the StrikeSmart Plus controller, where we have added most of the new things. This is a picture of the StrikeSmart app on a tablet. So up in the left corner, we have the weather information.
Sorry, Martin, 1 minute. Is it many people that can't see the presentation? Because someone wrote in the chat that they cannot see it. Is it just a few that have this problem, or is it everyone?
Yeah. How is it? Can you see the presentation?
It seems like the majority can. It seems like the majority can. So we will proceed. It's probably something then personal settings or something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think we have to continue. Yes. So the weather information. If the spreader is equipped with temp striker sensors, in the upper left corner, you will have this information: the road temperature, air temperature, and the humidity. In case the spreader does not have these sensors, temp striker sensors, you will see current weather information there taken from the online service provider. Then we have the forecast. Sorry. Something happened there. Yeah. So there is the forecast that is taken from a service provider. So there are forecasts for the next 3, 6, and 12 hours. And based on this weather information, the controller will recommend an application rate. So user can then decide if he wants to use the recommended application rate or go with the settings. So below the weather information, we have the H-track window. What's new regarding to H-track is the road work sites. Here in the picture, you see the icon showing that there is a road in this work site. If road is set to have asymmetric spreading, the spreader will automatically adjust the width to the left and right when sorry. Okay. Yeah. So you can set in the H-track you can set the spreading to the left and to the right independently. So for instance, if you drive and want to spread on a bus stop, you can spread more to the right. Next, we have the asymmetry, chute asymmetry. So as I already talked about, previously we adjusted the chute, the angle of the chute. Now we adjust the width, left and right independently. We have also added an arrow in the middle, which is a button. When you press on it, the chute will go back to center. We have also added possibility to set chute to manual mode. This is for troubleshooting and to be able to use the chute in case there is some problem with the feedback signal, as Mattias talked about earlier. So the last thing I want to highlight is the information view. In the information view, we had added information that we think might be interesting for the driver. That is GPS information, power and energy consumption, and trip log. That was short about some of the new features in Strike Smart Plus. We have also done a lot of bug fixes and improvements, especially the USB connection between tablet and panel have been improved in the latest software versions. So what are the news when it comes to conventional Strike Smart controller? As in Strike Smart Plus, we show power consumption in the spreading view, but only when H-track is not used, since H-track uses the same information field to show active worksite. Also, the showing of power consumption has to be enabled, which is shown in the next slides. The energy and power consumption data is also added in the trip log, which you can see here. A long press on the top right button shows the power settings view, where you can enable this function. In the settings, you can also select to restrict power consumption by slowing down motors when power is too high. This can be useful if spreader is mounted on an electrical vehicle, with limited power. This view shows the power limits. This is not in the current software release, but will be released in a few upcoming days. So we have also added the manual chute adjustment as in Strike Smart Plus. So when it comes to the application software, we have two branches. Let us call them branch 0 and branch 1. So branch 0 starts with version number 0.76 is the one latest now on the dealer portal, and the 1 branch is 1.11. The reason for this is an update of the development tool, which requires an update of the operating system. So all new features are added to the 1 branch. We only do critical bug fixes to the 0 branch. For instance, spray striker with variable control and spray striker HFE needs the 1 branch. The reason why we still have the 0 branch in production is that we want to avoid problems with the OS update and wrong software branch being installed during high season. While you are on the dealer portal to download the latest software, please have a look at the release note document found on the same place there. That document describes what changes have been made and also describes sometimes in detail how the new features works. So it would be useful to have a look at that. So how do I know which OS version I have and which branch should I install on that OS version? The OS version is shown in the About screen. It's highlighted here. So it's the last 4 digits that says which OS version you have. If you want to install application version 1.1, you first need to update to OS 2.2.6, as in these examples where we have OS 2.2.2 on the device. Know that all calibration data and other settings are erased and restored to default when updating OS. There are how-to videos and manuals how to do the updates that you can have a look at. So, Mattias, common issues.
First of all, thank you very much, Martin. That was some nice new feature over there and a perfect presentation. I would like to remind you all of especially, I mean, we have many slides, we have much information to share. So please have in mind that this is being recorded, so it will be possible for you guys to go back and in order to refresh your memory and so on. Okay, so the next chapter, common issue. This was an important chapter to me. Common issue based on the last season that we had, but also in general. So the one I have picked is a couple of one, and of course the most important as well, what to do about them. Okay. First up, you are doing a software update by a USB stick and get this screen, Was Schendorf. The explanation behind this screen is quite easy. You have been able to get the OS file installed, but not the software updater. And I'm speaking about the updater folder. So, for some reason, the controller was not able to find or open up the software updater from the USB stick. I would say in 50% of these cases, the updater folder was never downloaded and added to the USB stick, only the OS files were. In the second 50% of these cases, I would say the updater folder is there on the USB stick, but you have doublets. So the updater folder is inside another folder, or the folder has been unzipped incorrectly. We could sit here all day and discuss the software update procedure. Therefore, I would like to guide you where to find our how-to-do tutorial, which you will find on the Hilltip dealer portal, and I added a picture where to find it. Moving on. You have been able to get the software installed, but you are met by a surprise. Icebreaker software not allowed to run on this device. This solution is actually an easy one. During this screen, press and hold these buttons on the right side of the screen. This opens up a hidden bypass feature, and the controller will let you go ahead. Next up, CAN error, check signal cable. Unfortunately, guys, I don't have any hidden bypasses for you here. I would like you to begin this troubleshooting by having the controller taken out from the vehicle cabin and plugged straight to the spreader module. As you can see in the picture, the 8-pin connector on the spreader module goes straight into the controller. The motive behind this procedure is simply to get the connector between the vehicle and the spreader out of the equation. If you still have CAN error with the controller directly plugged to the module, I would say there is a 50% chance that a module replacement will be the only way out. The second 50% is actually a trick that Martin will demonstrate later on in this meeting. The procedure in short is to enter the engineering view and click on the SWDL icon, which is sometimes enough to tackle the problem. Why I would really like to point out the connector between the vehicle and the spreader is in fact that I'm seeing 4 connectors and neglect almost on a daily basis. like this data cable, one of the better candidates I came across. Or this one. Seems like the heavy-duty connector preferred grease before salt. I'm quite sure this data pin has seen better days. Salt is brutal. Next up, auger jammed or auger overcurrent. First step, software update. I repeat, if you got the auger jammed or auger overcurrent, I repeat, software update as a first step. The reason behind this is that in beginning of this year, we published software 0.73, and in that software, we made a revision on the internal amp measurement, which had a major difference in this specific matter. If you have software 0.73 or newer and still struggles with the auger jammed, there is a great troubleshooting feature in the StrikeSmart controller, which will give you data of what exactly is going on each motor. This feature is something Martin will demonstrate as well. What I would like to point out though, when it comes to auger jammed or overcurrent, you should always ask the question, do we have a mechanical problem going on here? Which takes me to the next slide. What about the position of the inverted V plates inside the hopper, also called inverted V baffles? This is especially crucial if they are spreading gravel, as the auger or the conveyor is quite easily overloaded if the baffles are staying wide open. The weight of the material is simply causing too much pressure on the auger or the conveyor. Speaking about pressure, what about the condition of the gearbox? Are the gearbox running smooth? Beside the auger gearbox, I also added a picture of the spinner gearbox, as this procedure also applies to spinner overcurrent. Speaking of spinner overcurrent, seems like this motor on this spreader have quite a rough day keeping this bad boy spinning. This one I must mention, simply as this issue was, excuse my language, a pain in the ass last season. We are looking at a 6-pin Deutsch connector to the symmetry adjustment motor that has been poorly crimped by our guys here in Finland in our production, which has led to one of the wire getting loose. If you are having issues with the symmetry adjustment motor, please carefully check the 6-pin connector. Have we taken any actions in our production, you may ask? Yes, we have. But beside last year's spreaders, I have also witnessed this on a couple of this year's spreaders, on 2024 spreaders, so I ask you to pay attention. Meanwhile, you are paying attention to the 6-pin Deutsch connector, we are taking further steps towards getting rid of this issue once for all in our production. Moving on, emergency stop activated even if it's not. The most obvious, replace the button. If the controller keeps saying emergency stop activated even with the new button in place, grab a multimeter and check how many voltages do you have on the circuit from the module to the button. The multimeter should say 5 volt. If it is under 5 volt, I am sorry to tell you, but you're up for a spreader module replacement. There is one other way out of this, and I was having brain struggles if I would share it or not, but I will. And the only reason why is that if your client reaching out in the middle of the night, he will remember you as the hero that kept him going that night. This is what I'm talking about. You may remember this picture from bypassing the software protection. These buttons on the right side of the screen, beside bypassing software protection, will also bypass emergency stop. But I'm totally sure that all of you understand when I say that this procedure should be respectfully used, simply as it is a direct safety matter. Beside respectfully used, please be aware of the fact, once this procedure has been done, the emergency stop function is permanently shut down until the underlying cause has been sorted and the emergency stop function in the controller has been reset. Martin will demonstrate where to find this setting just in a minute. Last on my list, liquid pump 1 overpressure. I have two things I would like to bring to the table here. First, the pre-wet nozzle, left side on your screen. During quite a long time, we had pre-wet nozzles with 3.5 millimeter holes in production. But as we run into more and more of these issues, we decided to go up in diameter in order to reduce the pressure. In production today, we only have pre-wet nozzles with 6 millimeter holes. So as the first step, please check the nozzle. If you're having a 3.5 millimeter nozzle, reach out to us and ask for a 6 millimeter, or simply grab a 6 millimeter drill and do the job by yourself. The nozzle is plastic, so it's quite an easy one. If the nozzle is 6 millimeters, you're still having overpressure, adjust the pressure sensor found on the top of the pump, right under your screen, part 6. In the center of the pressure sensor, there is an adjusting screw. Turn the screw clockwise, means inwards, half a rotation, 180 degrees, at a time until you get rid of the overpressure. Let's say you are still having overpressure after 2 or even 3 full rotation on the adjusting screw. Then we are having something else here. Either the pressure sensor is faulty or the system is clogged and need to be flushed. What also will cause overpressure is a solenoid valve that refuses to open up. But you will not get any liquid then, so it's a different story. Okay, guys, that was what I had to share when it comes to common issues. Next up, troubleshooting hints with Martin. We will change the screen to our live controller screen, so please give us a second here. Just a second. If somebody of you guys have a quick question, please. Meanwhile, we are sorting out. Lägg på mikrofonen.
SBG Equipment had a question there, Mattias, about if they already have purchased the Strike Smart Plus panel, can be updated to be used independently.
Can you still hear me, guys? Yes, perfect. Yeah, so the answer is, if I understand if I understood the question correctly, the answer is yes, it's still, but you need to update the latest software in the panel. So the procedure that you click on the both two buttons on the left hand upper buttons, and of course network connection to the smartphone and plugged up to the panel. But if you have that if you have network connection to the smartphone and plugged up, download, install the latest software to the panel, and yeah, the previous generation is totally fine. Yes, only the newest software is required. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we are able to sort it out. Yes, please, Martin.
On here, do you see the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sorry for some technical problems here. Do you now see a video of the controller screen?
Yes, we do.
Good. So I want to show the things that Mattias talked about. Starting with the CAN error. You go to the main menu, keep the upper right button pressed until you enter this what we call engineering view or test view. I think some of you are already familiar with this view. You can start the motors here, and you can simulate vehicle speed and so on. And this is the button, SWDL. You press that button. First, you might not see that anything happens. You will see if you have a CAN failure, this button here will be red and say CAN fail. So after a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds after you have pressed the SWDL, the button should turn green and say CAN OK. If that doesn't happen, then do a quick on-off switch, off and on. And wait another 10 seconds to see if the update is okay. So that's about the CAN error. Here is the chute. If we activate the manual chute, you can run the motor in and out without taking account of the position feedback signal. So with the older type of chute motor, the black one, usually the problem was that the feedback signal was broken, and that's why it could not be used even if the motor was working. So by doing this manual, you can run it in and out without actually knowing which position it is in. If you go to normal spreading view, here you see that you adjust the chute now, left and right. It runs for a certain time and then it stops. So next thing is the emergency stop. Then that's another hidden menu. You go to settings, machine, keep the right top button pressed until you see this advanced settings view. You can scroll down to emergency stop, where you can enable and disable emergency stop. Another very important thing I want to highlight here in this view is the actuator with potentiometer. This setting is for deciding if you have the old type of chute motor or the new type of chute motor. So with potentiometer, that is the new version, the new type. Then you put that to chute. Yeah, I think that was all in this view. There are some other settings, automatic work light, if you want to automatically start the work light when the spreader is started and so on. But let's move on to some other things. Mattias talked about the overcurrent issue. you go to information view and you press the left top button. If that pressed, you will see this view. In this view, you will see some information about the motors, current consumption, average currents, how long has it been over 40 amps, 50 amps, running seconds, and you get errors. You can see how many times has the controller gone into the jammed state. So if a customer complains about Augo jammed all the time, then you can see how many times have it actually happened. Some temperature, internal temperature of the transistors. All this information you can you send directly to me and my colleagues by pressing the send data, and then you can add contact information and a short description about the error, what's wrong. It's not very convenient to write the long messages here, so maybe it's good to send an email also to explain about the problem and tell us that you have sent a log file. Then we can we get all this information that you see here, but also log files from the motors, so we can open up it, analyze it, check the current consumptions, RPMs, and so on. So that can be useful in case you have a really tricky problem, you don't find a solution, then it helps us to analyze the problem. Yes, I think that was it for the conventional controller. Let's move on to the StrikeSmart Plus. Yeah, a bit closer. Yeah, so here you will see the tablet for a StrikeSmart Plus. So we have basically the same information here. If we start with the Augo jammed or the current measurements, you need to go into the settings view and the application. And you scroll down to write log files. That need to be enabled. Then when the information view, and here you find motor statistics. When you open up that, you will have basically the same information, and you can also send this log file to us. Write some contact information, because otherwise we don't know who is sending this. We get this information, controller ID, software versions, and so on. So that is the statistics. Then I want to talk a little bit about the software versions. In the information screen, you will see all the software versions that we have. And we have 3 versions, 3 different softwares. One in the spreader module, which is on here. So if you want to update that, which I think you should do in case you have an old software, press there. You will see an available version and the installed version. Just press start installing and it will start the installation. Sometimes the vibrator will start, as you have noticed. That one is now solved, so it should not start with the new spreader modules. Yeah, the trip log, power consumption have been added. as I talked about. Then you have the USB device. This is what we call the panel, control panel. And you can't directly from here install the software, but you get the instructions how to do it. So basically you press the 2 upper buttons and at the same time switch on the controller and the update procedure will start. Last thing here is the application software, the app. You can do check for update. It's already the latest version. So it's always good to update all these softwares at the time to avoid that we have some mismatches between them and some problems. So for instance, when we have improved the stability, the USB connection stability, that requires update of both the panel and the application. So we still have a limited time, so I will show you, the engineering view. You enter it by doing a long press on information. Then we have a pin code, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. In this view, you can set the manual shoot control. This doesn't work perfect in this software, so it will be improved in the next version, the manual shoot control. Debug mode, then you see some more information about the motors. You can simulate speed and so on. You can start the motors here. Set speed for motors, and you will also see the current and the RPMs for the auger. Yes, I think that was about it. One thing I could also show here is, in case you are on an exhibition and you want to have the tablet, but you don't have it connected to a machine, you can go to the settings, keep that pressed, and now I had done it before. So, but if you do it the first time, you need to enter a pin code which is 4321. Here you can set this into a demo mode. So if you use only the panel, the tablet without panel, you set it to demo without panel, and then you need to do a restart. You can also simulate. If you want to use HTRAC, you can set the serial number here. You can simulate the weather forecast. We even have a GPS simulator if that is needed. That was some of the features. Is there something I missed? We can have a look at the. Okay. Well, I think we don't have time for more features there. Is there any questions?
Yeah, there has from Rico. Can the pump be damaged? Going back to what Mattias spoke about, the overpressure. Can the pump be damaged if there is no liquid in spreader? There is no safety mechanism or in it. What kind of pump is it used? Membrane and so on.
Yeah, it's a diaphragm pump with 5 chambers. It can run dry. It will not break if you run it dry.
And yeah, hi guys. I will jump here to the microphone and let's see if you're able to shut down the live controller screen. Yes. First of all, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Martin. That was a great presentation with some good and important features especially for the upcoming season to take on different kind of troubleshootings and so on. Many tools that will be save time most upfront, time sufficient, a time sufficient way of troubleshooting, and also an accurate in order to don't make any waste of time, basically. So let's see, I will go back before we jump. Let's see, I will also take on, let's see if I share I will go back to the PowerPoint presentation. Let's see, do we still have questions in the chat that has been unanswered at this moment? Let's see, so we had from the team Rico, we had regarding the pump, and that was answered by Martin. Thank you, Martin, for taking that on. Let's see, also from team Rico, we have what protocol is used to send message from controller to Hilltip SIM card. I will pass that question to Martin regarding the protocols.
Okay, I don't know if I exactly understand the question, but SIM card, yes, 4G can be used or Wi-Fi, and the actual message that we send to HTrack portal is our own message. We don't follow any standard.
Thank you, Martin. Do we have any more questions? Not at least in the message field I'm able to see. Yeah, there was an input by Herr Hauser. Thank you for the input. Yeah, I will know 50% tomorrow. So yeah, this is, yeah, that's, I mean, it has been a lot of slides and a lot of information. So that is 50% is a good one. That's a solid one. So let's see, from Joseph at Team Flory, can the settings be locked with a code PIN? I will also pass that on to Martin.
Yes, in the conventional controller, you can lock that. And it's a default PIN. What is it now? 8520, I think. Straight line from top right down. In case you want to lock that. For the Strike Smart Plus, I don't think we have we have for the calibration, we have a PIN code, but not to lock the settings. But of course, that could be added.
Excuse me, I can see. Excuse me, Ariel. First of all, yeah, I hope that Joseph was pleased with that answer by Martin. Excuse me, Ariel. I also missed there was a question in the message as well. So, will there be a technician manual for our technicians? Well, I mean, yeah, yes and no. I mean, like you know, and most of you guys are familiar with the mechanical guide, the PDF guide that we have. Covers the entire product range, and that is, if you're not familiar with, please check it up. It's found on the portal. I am happy to guide you if you're not able to find it. And the mechanical guide are always kept up to date. We are doing the very best to keep it up to date and also as complete as possible. With that being said, and yeah, so I mean, it's not necessary. All the information is not necessary. We are not able to keep up the speed, not necessary in all the manuals, especially not in all languages. But we are do our best. And if it's not found in the mechanical guide, well, please, we are always available. So please reach out. And also, like I said, this video will also be shared as a tool, and that I hope that will be beneficial. So yes and no on that question, but we are working on manuals and doing the best. Do we have any more questions for the moment? Otherwise, if there isn't, do we have any internal? I am also, please, the Hilltip team, I'm also open up for any inputs and so on. If you have some important information that you think Martin and me missed and would like to take the opportunity and share it, please feel free. Please feel free.
You have the.
Otherwise, if not, let's see.
Mattias,
Excuse me. There was a
Mattias,
question by Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Is there a way to make the controller only display the set amount? Is there a way to make the controller only display the set amount?
The conventional controller, yes. So how it works is that you set an application rate, and then when you start driving, it is shown the actual application rate, which is outputted. Let's say you drive very fast, and the spreader can't output enough material, the application rate will be lower than the set rate. Yes, we had a hidden setting in the same advanced hidden settings. You can activate that, yes, if you want that.
Thanks, Martin. I hope that was the answer Joseph was looking for. We have a couple of minutes to go, so let me pass on. To a couple of side notes. Two quick ones.
Mattias.
So first of all, the Hilltip customer service outside office hour from 1st of November to last of February. Our new support hotline will be available. You will be able to reach this service by phone or WhatsApp. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and guarantee that you will get all of your problems sorted out outside office hours. But what I will guarantee is that you will get Hilltip support on the line, and first aid will be given, or at least a plan forward. The phone number will be announced within the incoming weeks. Second note that I had, or I should say reminder, TNT leaves the Hilltip warehouse 1 o'clock Finnish time. This means that we need your spare part order 12:30 at latest if you expect to receive your order within 24 hours. Okay, guys, that was the subjects that we had and the information that we had to share, me and Martin, on this online technical meeting 2024. As far as I can tell, this will be a tradition also forwards for the upcoming season and so on. I would also like to take the opportunity. Please let us know if there is a specific subject that you find, that you think that we should include or highlight and so on. Please let us know. Not necessary wait until the 2025. Also, please let us know immediately. We could take, if we find it necessary, we could take also an additional meeting for that specific subject if we find it necessary. So please let us know, because we are here for you guys, and we would like to have you the most as solid knowledge as possible to take on all kind of challenges. So this is important. Beside that, let's see. I think. Excuse me. Let's see. I think we have some new messages in the chat. Mattias, du har en fråga.
I could not find that the question. If Henrik had a question, we could not find that in the chat.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Frank
Mattias
has something. Can you highlight Frank?
First of all, yeah, 1 second, Frank. 1 second, Frank. It seems like, yeah, we can't hear. Yeah, you know what? Please try again, Frank. It seems like a setting was. Please try again.
No.
Yeah, now we can hear you. It was a setting. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry if there has been.
We tried to stop you there when we were talking, but Henrik has something
It
at
was
first.
It was a question about the softwares where you can do the loop with the emergency button. From which software version? Is it from 68 or from 73?
Yeah, when it comes to the loop, there are actually two things there. So first, the hardware should be, I don't exactly know exactly which was hardware version, but we have so to say disabled the emergency stop button in the hardware. So it's both hardware and software. Meaning if you have a really old hardware, you can just disable it in software. I don't exactly remember which version we had it in the software. I can check and get back to you with that information.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, and I have to say, I'm really sorry if there has been people talking and had any questions over microphone. I'm sorry that were the settings that. So me and Martin has been for ourselves the last couple of minutes here. I saw there come a question by Richard. Richard in the over the message. Could you share the phone number of the hotline? Yes, Richard. This will be shared within the couple of 2 weeks. Within a couple of 2 weeks, this will be shared. We are still setting things up. So, okay. Yeah. So I think we have 1 minute to go. We have 60 seconds to go. So I will take the opportunity to thank you very, very much for the participation and thank you very much for taking your time. I will end with a quote by no other than Steve Jobs and remind all of you that we are part of your team. We are part of your team. So you're not alone. You're not alone. I wish you all a great incoming season. And once again, thank you very much. Do we also have maybe a couple of last words by Martin?
Yes, Henrik, we checked up. It's software 0.70 where we have added the function to disable emergency stop.
This is an example. If we don't have the answer, we will have it. Give us just a minute. So this is an example.
Thank you guys from my side as well for attending to this technical meeting. Thank you, Mattias. Thank you, Martin. We will go into a season here very shortly with including a lot of challenges that we will overcome always to keep our customers happy. And I want to remind you all, if you are in sales or if you are in after sales or in a mechanic, we are everybody working in sales. So now the sales team has been speaking many times to the clients. Now it's coming to the second step in the sales procedure to keeping the customers happy when they really need us. Meaning when there is snow and ice on the ground, they need rapid actions to get support from our side and from your side. So let's make this another great season. And I'm very happy that this many came on to this meeting, and we really look forward also to get a lot of technical guys onto a tour at the factory at some point during our next dealer meeting during 2025. So be aware of this, that this opportunity is coming up for guys in the technical area as well to visit the factory, to get to meet our guys and know more how we build our equipment. Thank you very much and looking forward to be in contact.
Thank you very much, Frank. Some perfect last words there from Frank.
Thank you very much, Mattias and Martin from Germany.
Thank you very much, Herr Fritzke. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And thank you to all the Germans also in the audience. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much from Greece.
Perfect, Greece. Greetings to Greece. Perfect. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Thank you all. We have been around 17 looking and watching you, so it was good. It was special funny when Frank was trying to catch you up, Mattias. So it has been a good start for the day. So thank you. We will hang on and move on here with our training. So have a nice day.
Perfect, Henrik. Perfect. And greetings to the entire team over in Denmark. Much appreciated, and thank you for the time, taking the time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. From France.
Bye.
Thank you, France. Bye to France. Thank you. Thank you.